Around 400 England supporters in a sparsely populated all-seater stadium in Prague. Such is life in liberated Czechoslovakia that the average weekly wage here is just £20 a week. And although the best seats for this international cost less than £2, live television over here has kept the crowd down. But the Czech team are taking the match seriously, and nearly all their exiled players are here. Their newfound freedom means that 7 of the starting 11 earn their living in Western Europe. There are 8 survivors from the 1990 World Cup squad, and 6 of the team played at Wembley just before going to Italy. And 2 men who come into all 3 of those categories are the West Ham goalkeeper Ludek Miklosko and number 10 Thomas Skuravi, who helped Genoa beat Liverpool in the UEFA Cup. Well, Skuravi will be initially marked by number 2 Martin Keown in England's 3-man centre-back system. Number 4 David Rocastle will operate as an advanced right back. Number 9 Nigel Clough will play just behind the 2 main strikers, who are number 8 Paul Merson and Mark Hateley, who hasn't started one for 5 years. But with a midfield position and go forward into whatever spaces he can find. Number 7 is David Platt. And Merson gets an early touch, and here's Trevor Brooking. Chance for David Seaman in goal for England to increase the competition on Chris Woods, who's been subbed for both B team and A team over the last 2 days. This is Barnes. Oh, 2 good touches already, but he's given the ball away. Kubik for Czechoslovakia, Skuravi to his right. Des Walker goes for the tackle, but Kubik gets the shot in. Merson pulling out right, no surprise in that, because he is comfortable in wide positions. Number 7 is Bilek for the Czechs, and now number 3, Kadlec, joins the attack. Skuravi, oh, Kubik in loads of space, and good goalkeeping by David Seaman. But what about the gap there?
Skuravi.
Yes, and they've also brought Kadlec, the blonde lad, up from the back. Skuravi's there! Oh, what a good goal! He's turned a somersault, and he's turned the England defence too. That was whipped in, and England have gone a goal down after 20 minutes. And you'll see Skuravi come in here, and it goes in off the post.
Well, there's a great header.
Nigel Clough to take this. But nothing like as good as the one we saw at the other end, was it? Here's Mabbott. An up and under for David Platt and Mark Hateley. And Mikloski, Hateley, good play. David Platt pulled it back behind Hateley, but here's Merson! And there's the equaliser for England. And Paul Merson of Arsenal pops up in the right place. The ball came off a Czech player, but he kept the shot down. Miklosko, I think, got his hands to it, but it crept over the line. And after 27 minutes here in Prague, it's Czechoslovakia 1, England 1. Miklosko may not be too happy about that, but Merson will be delighted. Rocastle. And now it's Clough. 2 strikers ahead of him. Thought about going alone. So it's now Rocastle again, and Platt just slotting in to Rocastle's position. Merson, but that was short of David Platt, and it's Kubik. Hovernets. Kubik, oh, what great play. And a super little ball for Kula, and Seaman scrambles it round the post. Field wearing number 16 in place of Nigel Clough. Any comments on that, Trevor Brooking?
Well, I think possibly the first one, Lee Dixon coming on. David Rocastle wasn't finding it easy to adapt to that new role. And Paul Stewart, I think, in midfield, coming into that position we were talking about, perhaps just sitting in front of the sort of central defensive trio to make sure anyone who's running from deep will be picked up. And of course, it's a chance as well for him to show his form that he's been showing for Spurs for most of the season.
Yes, Dixon's wearing number 14, Stewart 16. It's his second appearance for the full England side. Paul Stewart, he had 23 minutes as a sub against Germany at the start of the season, you may remember. But rather longer today. And Happel goes now for the shot. Oh dear! It's escaped the grasp of David Seaman. And Martin Keown here are going through a torrid time. The Czechs have got them on the rack. And it's another corner. Now, will the referee allow the substitution to be made first? John Barnes' replacement is Tony Dorigo of Leeds United. Oh, David Platt, a great run into the area here. Pearce couldn't find him. The longer cross looks for Haitley, and he's leaning over. Skuravi threatens. Nemecek's there, oh, it's in! I don't know whether Nemecek even got a touch. I think it went straight in from the corner. Well, Joseph Povinets took the corner with his left foot, and he cut it into the near post area. Nemecek didn't get a touch. Maybe an England player through the goalkeeper, but Povinets has to get the credit for putting Czechoslovakia 2-1 up. So England now coming from behind for the second time in the match. And with a much reshuffled team, it should be said. Nothing like the formation that started now, really. Well, the formation 14 is Lee Dixon. Haitley's on the end of this, but couldn't direct it back inside to Platt. Oh, and it's the equaliser! Martin Keown! Well, number 2, Martin Keown, comes here and produces a goal out of nothing. It's a super shot, this, for his first international goal by the Everton defender. And for once, the Czechs are rocked back on their heels. Miklosko puts an arm up and can't possibly do anything about it. And Keown has equalised for England after 65 minutes. It's 2-2. And we are going to see Gary Lineker. Haitley's there. Dorigo's there. Oh, and well held on by the keeper. They weren't very pleased with the follow-up challenge. Paul Stewart in the thick of it there. Tony Dorigo latching onto a knockback from Mark Haitley. Ludok Miklosko did magnificently well to hold on to that. And a fine match for the spectator. Czechoslovakia proving to be one of the stronger European nations with some excellent technical players.